I guess I should turn it.
Live on the button.
Here we go!
Hello.
I'm kind of tired. I'd be
Yeah.
lying if I said I wasn't.
Hang on. Sorry, don't have my lights on.
I got no one watching yet. I know Cameron will be hopping on here soon, Greg.
Yeah, I guess it was hot today, huh?
You know what? Like, wasn't really that bad, but I was just tired to begin with. I'm just tired of mowing.
Yeah, I think there are some days where I get like that, especially when I've got like 2 to go.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah, and and if one's going to be a little bit longer than the other, that's when it's really frustrating. Because then you got, like I had my last 2 today, one is about 45 minutes, and then the other one is about a half an hour. And
Oh,
that
man.
45-minute one is just, it's annoying. It pays well, but
Almost like you're sitting and waiting just to get done. It's like, well, this takes 45 minutes.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but like I said, it does pay well. And they're right. That's a 2-stop, so that's not bad. But
My last 5 I did today, they were all considerably long, and I butchered them in 325 last week, so I cut them again in 325. Like those weed lawns, those really grow fast. Because we had some rain that came through last week. Man, they were growing.
yeah, I had a couple of lawns today that there was basically no growth, or very little, and nice because I didn't have to do any trimming as well. But
Oh, yeah.
but it's odd because I had like 3 lawns that hardly grew. One of them I didn't even cut the front lawn because it was so dry. And actually, that's when we're supposed to aerate on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And because I texted the guy and said, hey, run your sprinklers for the next few days so we can make sure the lawn's nice and soft to aerate. And he said he has a leak somewhere. So,
Of course, he's got a leak. Aaron says all my lawns are weed lawns. This felt like spring rush. Yep. Some of the lawns I had, mostly, it was like 70% weeds. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, it was long, and I cut it on 325. I was debating about the end of tonight, Greg, cutting shorter tomorrow, like dropping everything on 3. I just want to get to like almost be in that stage ramen control, not having just grow. They're growing past, and it's end of July, even though we have a heat index of 100 tomorrow. I mean, drink water, you'll be fine.
yeah, I think we're supposed to be up to 92. It was funny because I was driving along today and my daughter had called me, and she was making her way back home because she had a business meeting and she had about an hour drive home, so she wanted to call and talk to somebody. So I guess I was out. I was lone man out. And anyway, we were talking and she says, "Wow, it's 90 degrees out." And I was thinking, what? I had
Yeah,
no
right.
idea it was 90 degrees.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I mean, I was in my pullover long sleeve performance shirt, and I felt fine. And then on the Segway, if you get fast enough, Greg, you get a nice breeze going too.
Yeah. And those tech shirts really help, and especially if you got that long sleeve, because if you're sweating on your arms and then it's cooling, it does really help you cool off. So I've found that I'm really liking wearing the long sleeves. I didn't think I would, but when you get those dry tech or those tech shirts, they really help. So
Yeah, I mean, I had the E&D orange E&D cotton shirts that I actually bought for my business this spring. Then I ditched them about a month ago because when I came home that one night and I had that like a tick on my tricep, I flipped it off. I said, okay, I'm going back to the long sleeves now, and I've actually been cooler. Those cotton shirts, especially when it gets hot and sticky outside, you'll bake. But these cheap, I don't know, they're cheap Amazon shirts that, well, I found that they're doing the trick.
yeah, I don't understand the UV thing though. It seems like, because I've seen a couple of them where they're saying that they're UV 50 protection.
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
mine says UV 50.
yeah, aren't shirts like UV protection? So, I mean,
I guess some lights coming through. Because if it's UV 50, that means if you just wore that, I should be completely like tan under, but I'm not. I'm not tan under. I'm pretty ghostly and ghastly. So I don't know what kind of UV they're talking about there with that.
I don't know. I just the ones that I have are, I'm sure they're not. There was no UV rating that I saw on them, but I guess my thought is if I'm wearing a shirt, then I'm UV protected. I could be oversimplifying it, but that seems to me that that's the way it is. But I mean, I've told you before that there's very little on me that can be seen by the sunlight. So,
Greg will send me some funny, the rare selfie where you're all. I mean, it makes sense. Hey, you're not getting dust in your eyes or in your mouth. I'm like, Greg's like the lawn care cyborg out there, but hey, it keeps it cool though. So joke's on me.
you know what happened today? I was riding along, and I'm cutting, and I'm going, what the heck? Why is there so much dust flying around? I don't get it. There's all this dust getting in my eyes. I forgot to put my safety glasses on. Really? Yeah. It was kind of funny because it just, for whatever reason, I just forgot to put them on, and
Well, you got to be careful with that. I mean, you think that you would always remember to put them on, right?
Yeah, I just for some reason just forgot to put them on, and I was busy working on something else, and just walked back to the mower and hopped on, and I think I'd done like 2 or 3 passes. I was just in between the curb and the sidewalk,
Oh yeah.
and realized that there was too much dust, and went to wipe the dust away from my eyes and realized there's no glasses there. So
Well, that's okay. I mean, when I mow, I don't wear safety protection when I mow, but when I trim, I always put them on. But I'm getting sick. It's like my eyebrows sweat, and then it fogs up like a half of the glasses. And I'm particular now about cleaning off the safety glasses because I got a pair of Oakleys that are meant for just outdoor work, but they're still. I got small scratches on those, Greg, and I've only cleaned them off with like dish soap and like microfiber wipes. Like I don't use anything that would scratch the lenses, but probably from the grass and everything, right? You'll get random scratches on there. I've took a big kick with some rocks there in the eyes too, but the glasses have helped. Oh, Aaron's right. Yeah, I was sneezing today quite a bit. Allergies are kicking my butt the last week or so. Yep, that's the truth.
That's me as well. And I've past couple of days I've been sneezing a lot, so waking up in the middle of the night, and that's annoying too because I just can't sleep if my allergies are bothering me. So that's annoying. And then you're awake for 2 hours, and you finally fall back to sleep, and it's time to get up. So
that's a bad feeling. Lately I have the alarm go off at 6 o'clock, and then I usually lift some weights in my garage before I get out the door. Greg, you kind of know my routine, but man, I've had that alarm go off. I didn't get out of bed till 6:20, make my coffee, plot in. I'm not lifting until about 6:50, but then my lift is only like 35, 40 minutes. But man, it's still tough. I mean, I try to hit that 7-hour sleep mark. I used to work, at Joe's produce store back in the day. I had to be there at 5 a.m. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. no problem. Now like 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is like way too early for me, even though 6 is not early.
yeah, I don't even do the 6 a.m. thing. I set my alarm for 7 because I know I'm not getting up at 6. No matter how long. Now, no matter how early I expect, I'm not doing it. So I just set it for 7 and then might hit my snooze a couple of times. So cat came in the middle of the night and made me pet him. So
Oh man.
yeah. So it is cute. He comes up and bumps you and wakes you up and makes you pet him, and then he goes and crawls down between your legs, and if you got blankets on, then you can't move because he likes to lay between your legs, and in between the or on top of the blankets, and then you can't move, and you're trying to adjust, and so it's kind of funny. But he came up and last night and woke me up and made me pet him a few times, and then snuggled up next to me, and then eventually moved back down by my legs. So, but he's a cute guy.
My cat doesn't do that. It doesn't bother me at night. But speaking of animals, I've been like out there mowing last 2 weeks, Greg. I've saved. I just saw there's 2 different rabbit families. I moved them out of their burrow because I almost mowed them over. And I've been trimming and mowing lately. There's been rabbits everywhere. Like, I mean, they multiply like rabbits, but I've noticed a lot of more little bunnies just trying to like avoid the mower, but almost get mowed over two at the same time. Luckily, I haven't hit any yet this
You
year.
know, I've noticed that as well. One day I had a family of ducks, and there were about 7 or 8 ducklings. There were some rabbits, and what else did I see that the same day? I saw no frogs, but actually
Ezra.
I saw some frogs this morning. I saw this one frog today where I've seen him. I don't know if it's the same frog, but I see this one frog at the same spot for the past 3 weeks. And whenever I'm trimming, unfortunately, I haven't hit him yet. He's a little tiny guy, about the size of a dime, so he's trying to get away from my trimmer. But
I think we got this one neighborhood, Greg. You did a cleanup on it with Zach and I years ago. This lady, she used to feed all the feral cats there, and so she would put out food, and
I
like
remember that.
10 cats would come by. Now it's just like 3 or 4 of them. But it's funny. There's certain neighborhoods where I see all kitties, deer. Deer are basically 180-pound rodents. They watch you mow and knock on your front door. They want to come mow with you. But I also see. You ever see big woodchuck holes? Man, I've seen some that have done some damage to the like sides of like porches and kind of like houses. Like, man, they dig deep little burrows there.
I've seen woodchuck holes, raccoons. Almost hit a deer one day on my mower.
How's that possible?
Came around the corner and there was a deer standing right there as I was trimming. It was kind of a woody,
Hello, this is Greg.
Right, you're like,
type
hey.
of area. Yeah. Oh, hello, Mr. Deer. And it was funny though because I had to stop and I came home and told the kids I almost hit a deer today. I said, where were you? In the yard, in somebody's yard. And what were you driving your truck in the yard for? I wasn't on the truck. I was on the mower. And so it was pretty. It was pretty close. I mean, I was probably 8-10 feet away from them, and then they decided to hop away. So,
They can get pretty aggressive if they have their babies. I was mowing and it was the yard over, and mom and baby were watching me, and they can get kind of aggressive. That's where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to mow this and then get out of here. I mean, I don't know any deer or does really attacking people, but they can be, I think, kind of aggressive if you get them there at the wrong time of the year.
yeah, I saw another bee nest today, or a couple days ago. I had to tell the client, and this is the second time I found a bee nest in his yard. So, and it had fallen. It was a nest that was built under the stairs to the guy's deck.
Oh boy!
He's got a deck, and then he's got a bunch of stairs coming down, probably about 15, 20 stairs coming down into his yard. And there was a nest probably about the size, half the size of a soccer ball, laying on the ground, and so I had to mow around it the best I could. And I got I would only get about 8 feet to it, and then I had to go knock on the guy's door and tell him, "Hey, you got another bee nest here." So
Aaron says deer will attack if you get between the mother and the fawn. I know Sutter's mown out there and kind of the sticks there. He probably sees more. Well, deer are everywhere now. It's kind of cool. Like back in the day, Greg, remember when deer were kind of cool to see? Now it's just like, oh, there they are walking down. I mean, I'm in the city here or suburbs, and they're just chilling. But bees, I've avoided seeing really any bees this year. I mean, years past, last year, client had it was like almost like 2 basketball size yellow jacket nest tucked in his burning bush, and I didn't even see it for weeks until I texted him like, "Hey, I'm not mowing around this area anymore," and he quickly killed it that next night. Those bees can be pretty aggressive, especially the ground bees.
Yeah, the ground bees are nasty. What was it? I ran into a couple years ago. I was mowing, but felt a sting. I went, "What the heck?" And just kept mowing. And then I came back on my way back, and I happened to look over, and I saw a nest about the size of a basketball, and that was a little disconcerting. And fortunately, I only got stung once.
Oh boy!
And then it's about a week later, I ran across one in the ground, and I mean, I was just getting ready to ride over it and saw this big hole in the ground, and so I had to tell the client about that one as well. So the one guy, though, the one that was in the nest, I told him about it, and I said, I'm not going anywhere near that thing. And took him about a month to finally take care of it. I had to keep
Oh
calling him
yeah.
saying, "What are you going to do anything about this nest or what? Because I'm not. You got some pretty deep grass right there now." So
Yeah, I don't mess with it. Or you could have done what some guys do, just sit the mower over it, just keep this hover over that spot of the yard, and hopefully they all get mowed up. But no, they're more crafty than that. That Aaron says 2 years ago the ground bees were really bad land. Yeah, he got stung a couple of times. How about this weird clients? We've all experienced this though, where they've actually no, like not for me, but you see it on Facebook though, Greg. The clients that want you to participate in like no mow May to protect the bees. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I've heard about it. Nobody has approached me about it. And if they said no mow May, I'll say no more mow. So go find
That's
somebody
funny.
else. So the no May mow is I don't know. I don't get it. So and all I'm going to do is quadruple your price, and I'm not even going to do that because I'm not going to go mow 10 inches of grass. I don't have Aaron Sutter's mower.
He's got that Ventrac too. Aaron's YouTube video, this Ventrac job he did. That's you've gotten some good feedback there on that video, Aaron. I know your short did pretty well, but that Ventrac's something else. That tough cut, or that's neat. I mean, you can mow down fields with that. If I ever got into more of like a thicker, lush grass setting where I needed a Ventrac, like that would really be cool to try out. Because there was one time, Greg, where I took my multi-force out, and my buddy, he had bought some property, and I this is probably 2 years ago. I think I talked to you about it, and I mowed it with the deck all the way up on the multi-force, but that was a struggle for like 2 hours with that thing. It's the only time I ever really put some strain on the multi-force. It was funny at the end of mowing all this like big field. I mean, it was probably a foot to 2 feet in spots. My deck was 100% spotless. It was because the grass was so long, it cleaned the deck out. I was so happy. I'm like, yes.
There you go. And you could get under there and spray it with something. So, did you listen to Raleigh's show that with Corey Ballard?
Oh yeah, and yep, that was a good one. I actually edited it. Actually edited that for him. Tip for all you guys: if you ever do a podcast or record something, or you get invited on to either our show or the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care podcast with Sutter or Aaron Sutter, do us all a favor. And I mean, you can use your phone to like chat, but if you put on speaker and then talk, because we had this happen too, Greg, where we did a truck talk a couple years ago, or not, I think that was last year, and you had it on speaker and it sounded like you had a bad lisp. It's just because it's something with the iPhone and how it like compresses. So I didn't have really enough time to totally fix Corey's audio, but he kind of sounded on some of his S's that he had a lisp. But good show though. I mean, he talked. So
yeah,
pretty wild story.
It was a good show, but a lot of the things they covered there was some really good information. So, and it actually made me think about the what are the X blades, especially in the spring and in the fall, the cleanup on those. Crossed my mind. I got to admit, that it seems like it would if you could do some X blades on your get your gators, get gator blades on X blades. Can you imagine doing that? There'd be 6 mulching blades going on your gator blades at the same time.
It worked out well, but it's better for like doing it in the fall. When I did run those X blades on my X Mark rider back in the day, think maybe a spindle might have busted from one of them, but it could have just been the machine was getting up there higher in hours. He makes that. I mean, it's a cool setup, but if my argument always against that is though, it's like, okay, well, if the manufacturers wanted us to do that, they would, like, every machine would already come with 2 blades on there. But he says because it's a perfect 90, which could be right. It's a perfect 90-degree angle, and if it's been perfect balance, then it probably is not going to bust a spindle. And then we had Garrett Bauer on, Greg, and he said that they're overpowering these spindles, anyways. The spindles these days, these companies, what they are doing right, those beefing up the spindles. I mean, these spindles on the multi-force or even on your mower, Greg, they're pretty beefed up.
It crossed my mind about doing that, especially in the spring when we get some of this tall grass, and we're trying to do that. He did say you can't run it all year and all season, but he said in the spring and the fall, that's some really good times to run it. I remember I told you last week I threw on my gator blades for this week because I knew I was going to have some lawns that were
Oh
going to be a
yeah.
little bit long, and I
Has
don't
that been
know.
working?
I think it's helped a little bit, but if they're long, they're long. And I might not have to triple cut it, but I'm probably still going to wind up double cutting it. But but I think it's a little finer though, and that helps.
Well, the title of this stream, Greg, is "Stop Letting the Mower Own You," and it finally kind of hit me this year. I've made church every Sunday this year, and with the extra help that I've gotten the past couple of weeks as my brother moved back home, Greg, it took me just a big slap in the face to finally. I mean, I could have been more intentional last year and the year before, and the year before that, of maybe even having someone help me like 1 or 2 days a week, but I never did that. And the mower was owning me. It's a kind of a liberating thing, though, Greg, to be able to spend some time with the family, not be stuck on your mower, right? I mean, you've always planned your business where you were never stuck that way.
I actually got home today at a reasonable hour, and for me it was 6:30.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I got home and I got all my cutting done, and I could have gone and cut one more to get ahead for tomorrow, and I just thought, you know what, it'd be nice to be home by 6:30. So hopefully I'll be able to get everything done tomorrow and not have to cut into Friday. But and then I got a couple of side jobs I can do. So
And we're
um,
potentially going to do some aerations this weekend, right? And then I have a little brush job down the street. But didn't you say that we was it 3 of those supposedly?
yeah, we've got 3. The one we were supposed to have 4, and they decided to wait until the fall. But they want to put some seed down as well, and you don't want to be throwing seed down in the middle of July and August. So
I mean, you could if you water it. It doesn't matter, right?
yeah, if you water it. But I tell you what, I've got I cut one of the aeration, 2 of the aerations. One of them I already told you, the front lawn was just I didn't even cut it today. And then the other one, that was one where you helped me trim those trees or that tree.
Oh yeah, those nice
And
people.
yeah, they're nice people, but I looked at him and I said, "What are you watering?" And I told him, "Look, you got add 15 minutes to your front lawn, and because it's just bone dry." And I said, "Add 15 minutes to your front lawn, and then add 10 minutes to your side lawn where we were cutting that tree."
Oh yeah.
And I said, "You don't need to do anywhere else, but those 2 spots you need to go 15 minutes or more." So, or 10 minutes and 15 minutes. And then,
You know, trimming that overhanging tree, because I have this still little small battery powered handheld chainsaw. That thing is nice for those low hanging limbs there. I mean, it's pretty nice. And you bought the one that I recommended. I recommended that handheld battery chainsaw like a while ago, Greg. Some cheapo one on Amazon, but that's been doing genie wonders for you, hasn't it?
it's working pretty well. I had to tighten the chain on it a little bit. That was one thing about it. It did come loose a couple times. So I don't
Oh
know if
yeah.
when we first started, I had to tighten it up, and then probably about halfway through, I had to tighten it again. So that's the downside. It might have gotten twisted up on a branch or something. Might have got caught on that, but still having to adjust it. That was, but for $30,
Oh yeah, that's
30
one that
$35, it was actually not too
I got to
bad.
figure out what brand that is. We got some people watching, but it was I upgraded to a still battery powered handheld chainsaw because my buddy who owns a hardware store he gave me a killer deal on one. But man, it was a cheapo one. It was like $30 on.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
look
here
it
we go.
up.
Mini chainsaw. It's okay. It's
Oh, you
this one
find it?
here. It's it's called Ocon. O-CONN mini chainsaw cordless 6-inch. It's $35. I mean, it
Yeah.
definitely gets the job done. Like that little thing has made me some money. So
That thing's hungry. I mean, it goes through stuff pretty well. And what they give you, would we get 2 extra chains?
I think there's like
it comes
2
with 2
chains and 2.
batteries,
Yeah. I mean,
And
for a
so
piece of
3 total
Yeah.
chains with a case.
Yep, you're
and,
right.
Charger. So it's actually it's not bad.
I mean, for a literal Greg piece of crap, that, I mean, you could buy a much more expensive and better battery power to like over at Wheels and Blades, they had that Echo battery powered chainsaw, like that smaller one. That would be kind of cool to try out because guess what? You wouldn't have to deal with all the crap with chain. Does that need chain oil? It probably does still.
It would need chain oil, yeah.
Chain oil, but you wouldn't have to deal with trying to, start that thing up. That's where some of the battery stuff I thought I've heard, haven't you seen some battery, like guys, like tree guys going with some battery powered chainsaw stuff? I thought I saw something like that.
I don't know if I've seen guys using the battery stuff, but you got to have backup battery with that. Especially if you're doing trees, you're gonna have to have them. But they are a little bit heavier, though. I don't know if you remember that. It was probably about a pound heavier, and a pound doesn't sound like a lot. What's the difference on when
Over
you're
time.
using your trimmer when you take off that guard versus keeping the guard on? I mean, there's a big difference on that. When you got that guard at the end of your trimmer, and when you take that thing off, it's a lot lighter.
Well, yeah, that's the aim of the game. I always base it. I mean, the first couple of years I mowed with the guard on, but I've got to take a little bit bigger of swaths though. But yeah, you're right. I think some of the battery powered with those chainsaws probably a tad heavier, but it's more convenience without struggling. Like even my Still Wood Boss chainsaw, I like it. It's nice. It's got the power. If you hit dirt, if you nick anything, that chain, Greg, goes dull right away.
Yeah.
And mine's in great shape, but it's still grimy because I guess the chain oil, like if it sits and you don't use it, like the chain oil will like leak out of it. Just kind of grimy, but still it's sometimes a pain in the butt to start. But I guess they have to be like that though. I mean, these tree guys, I mean they got to be quick to be able to do maintenance on those things if they go down, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure they got some backups, and we gotta get somebody on and talk about chainsaws a little bit, see what they like and what they don't like. But I don't like my steel. I hate it, and
We could do a whole podcast, like a solo episode, guys. Thumbs up if you want Greg to do a solo episode of talking about his disdain for Still chainsaws.
Hello, this is Greg.
That'd be funny.
And it would probably be very short because I would pick it up, I'd show it to you, and then I'd put it in the garbage can.
Oh no!
So that would be the extent of our show. Then we'd have to fill some dead air.
You can go tell them. Why don't you go tell them that at the expo? Like we have Uncle Greg on like Uncut, where you'll go to Still and you'd be like, "Hey, I don't like your chainsaws. They don't work.
Why won't your crap start?" So get your stuff to start for us out here. So who was it that was talking about that just recently?
I think you muted yourself. He did. Is it back? There we go.
I bumped it. Sorry. I didn't even know where I
wasn't that. Didn't we have a combo with that was a Vanguard guy? Was it Bob? Didn't he say that about the Still chainsaw? Aaron, I used my Echo CS310 to cut a huge ranch this week. Worked great. Oh, really? I should look that up.
What's a huge ranch? Oh, huge branch.
Branch. Echo CS310.
Huge branch. You cut somebody's house down?
Echo CS310. Man, Sutter over there. He's okay. This is a good chainsaw, Aaron. It's I was going for $220 at the Home Depot. You can buy it on eBay for $200. That's you almost get like a tad smaller than the one that I currently have. Mine's a Still Wood Boss. It's like an average size length of, I guess, chain. I reached out to a client today, Greg. He didn't reply for some reason. I did how much hedge trimming for him in the fall, but he has box bushes that are dead in the front of his yard. Not that other client, where that other client was just shopping for a price. Okay, so I got this really good client, awesome guy, pays me well. Not a big yard, but all of his box bushes in his yard were dying. Greg, I sent those pictures and I did all the I just factored in some numbers because I pulled some bigger box bushes that were dead this past spring, and I probably underbid it by $100 or so. I told this guy $750 to just pull them. You can dump them there in your woods, or it'd be $825 to haul them away. He basically told me no and said he was getting quotes for less than half of that. And I mowed his lawn today, Greg, and I sat there and I tried to pull them out by hand. I mean, they're all like small ones. There's no way that someone could have done that for less. I was shocked.
So somebody did it, or they haven't done it yet?
they're supposedly coming Saturday. He's the type of weirdo that likes to have it all on the books and he has to be home. That client has to be home when you get things done. Like I was basically begging to do his mulch because it was easy, but he had an appointment that day and wasn't going to be home. That's why I couldn't do it. And then that's the only time that I really had it. But I was disappointed because I'm pretty sure I bid that job the right way. I don't know what companies are coming in less than half. Like they're pretty. I mean, they're decent.
How are you going to take them out?
I'm just going to either with my truck or the multi-force just put a tow strap on there and pull them out. Worked out great. So
have you pulled with your multi-force?
No, but I pulled with the truck, but the multi-force does have that low flow kit. I'm pretty sure that I'd be fine. Like that whole hydro system is built for pushing and it to one extent pulling. And these bushes are so small. Mm-hmm. But I tried to pull one out by hand today. It was that cleanup, Greg. Do you remember that one where it was in a fenced-in backyard, and he's got no grass back there, and we blew it through a fence? I don't know if you did that one with me. I think you maybe did that. Tried 3 years ago. Is it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Anyways, annoying. I thought I'd make $750. It would take me like 2 or 3 hours. No. So I'm be curious what companies go by there. And I even thought about maybe putzing over there on Saturday and just kind of be like, oh, hey, I'm in the neighborhood by just, why'd you guys, quote them for this? And then I would then say, then how do you make any money quoting that? And it took you guys that long. Well, I would assume it would take them a couple hours, but you never know.
I've thought about a sawzall. I saw somebody using a sawzall to take out shrubs and stuff, and just takes it right out nice and easy. And you don't have to drive your truck up on somebody's yard. I had that happen actually a couple years ago where I thought I was going to have to pull this thing. I got my truck all backed up, got the strap all ready to go, and then I and then I started wrapping the strap around the shrub to pull it, and the thing just popped up in my hand.
Holy smokes!
Now I had truck wheel because my truck, the ground was a little soft, so my truck sank a little bit in their lawn.
Did you read Aaron's comment, Craig?
Yeah.
This is gold. CS310 is a bit small, but it works good enough. Starts on the second pull every time. They named still because you'll still be pulling it.
Yeah.
That's funny, Greg. You should go over there and troll the still booth at the expo. Like, you know how the guy does that demo on the tree at the expo. He's just like yell up, "Hey, how many times did it take you to actually turn that thing over?" He might just use a battery powered one so it fires up every time.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny if the battery just stopped working.
They had a lot of guys working with their the electric chainsaws inside last year at the expo where they were trimming.
Remember when we did the show with Husqvarna or Red Max Jack Easterly? Weren't they demoing a Husqvarna chainsaw? It was an
electric one, and they were
demoing. Was it a battery powered one?
They were what were they carving? Chainsaw carving.
Yeah.
So. I don't remember. I think they were doing an eagle or something. I can't remember what they were carving out.
People were demoing one though too. It was in some enclosed area, but that was pretty neat. I don't see guys around here. You see any arborists that have any Husqvarna chainsaws? Only guys I see are still maybe some Echoes.
I haven't paid enough attention to see, but usually if I see it, it's a steel. So I'll have to ask the guy that does all my tree trimming what he uses. But
you call it steel. It's funny. I've always called it still. I think your pronunciation is actually the correct one.
I think I heard steel. It pronounced on a video or TV or something. They say steel. So
I thought the still name was the cool. Got to get it still. But CS310. That's good to know.
That's the Echo, right? That's what he said.
Yeah, that's the Echo one. I mean, this gas chainsaw, brand new on eBay right now. Tony Rudolph with Tony's Lawn Care Talk, he likes eBay. He buys things on eBay though too, especially all of his Milwaukee stuff. New Echo gas chainsaw, CS310, 14-inch bar, it's 30.5 cc. It looks like it's pretty solid. One also complaint about my still chainsaw is the compartment to fill in the chain oil, and you twist it back on like that cap, Greg. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have it lined up all the way, it won't actually tighten. Sometimes it will take you 5 to 10 minutes just to try to twist it back on. It's pretty annoying.
What annoys me is when I put a little bit too much in and I start tightening the thing down and all the oil goes seeping out. So I wasted oil because it comes pouring out of the edges. So that's dumb when I do that.
Talk about wasting stuff. I've wasted some mower gas. I got these Eagle gas cans. I have the Sure gas can. They're good, but this Eagle gas can's a metal one. It's just like lid that you pull up. I've overfilled my mower and spilled have you ever spilled a decent amount of gas in your trailer? I've done that.
Oh, I've been lazy and putting. I've got my. I think I said this a couple weeks ago, where I've got my edger and trimmers hanging, and what I'll do is I'll just tilt them when I'll fill them up, but usually the first one I fill, I spill a bunch of fuel, and it comes pouring out because I'm thinking I'm not going too fast, and it's spilled all over. And usually when I fill one, I'll fill all three at the same time, even if they're not empty. Or well, two of them, I usually keep two trimmers full, and when one's empty, I just grab the other one and go to that. And then when they're both empty, then I'll have them hanging there, and I'll fill both of those up, and I'll fill my edger at the same time. So that way I've just got stuff running. I don't always fill my edger up just in case, because I don't have to use it that often, and or it doesn't go through too much fuel. But
Oh yeah.
and then but I'll keep a little extra just in case, so I don't run out of fuel for my trimmer.
You ever I haven't done this personally, but when Zach worked with me back in the day, you ever spilled gas on the grass? Dumb used to fill up fill up the trimmers and the blowers on the grass. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why are you filling that up on the grass? Fill it up on the cement. And there's a couple spots that were just browned out. And you had clients that would send me emails or text or call me being like, hey, tell your dumb employee to actually fill up on the street.
Yeah.
Gas can kill pretty quickly.
Yes, it can. I actually did one of my lawns. I forgot to put the cap back on my mower, and started driving. That. Yeah, and what irritates me is when I forget to put the cap back on after I just filled it, and put it, keep it in the trailer.
Yeah.
In an enclosed trailer, I get to the next job and I open it up and I just smell all the gas, and I'm thinking, can I start my mower? And I'm thinking, is my trailer going to explode on me with the fumes and the spark? So
that's why I installed a roof vent in my trailer, 14 by 14, cut it 13 3/4, and I put a roof vent in there. I replaced it 2 different times, Greg, because all the cheap Chinese roof vents on Amazon are crap, but I found one that's doing an okay job. It's kind of a pain to do it though. I mean, I'm not very square with things, but it works to kind of ventilate the air out of there. I know Tony Rudolph insulated his trailer walls, but I think I'm too late on doing that now.
Well, it depends what you want to do with it. He's doing some camping in his, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was talking about how he can't, that trailer hasn't seen a mower yet, and he takes the family and they sleep in that, which that's actually pretty cool. Mine, I think I'm too late on that. You should take Michelle camping in your enclosed trailer.
Yeah, I have to. I have cleaned it out a couple of times, because I've had to help the kids move a little bit, so then I have to get the power washer in there, and then the scrubber, and get that thing all cleaned out, and then a week later it's filthy again. So.
Oh yeah, and that's how it works. Cool thing about Echo is that they do all their equipment testing using regular unleaded fuel, because they know the average person is just going to use regular to gas mix. That's nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do the other people use? What do other people use then?
I was about to say, I was part of the UAG, but Aaron was 2 years before I was. I think Aaron and Cameron Duncan at the Lawn Care Life in Missouri, I think they both were in the UAG at the same time, and they got to go to the Echo facility in Lake Zolrich to tour that. When I was part of the UAG, I couldn't make it, so I didn't go, but it's cool to be able to get some hands-on and some behind the scenes, because one good thing about the UAG, I'll just leave it at that. One good thing, you could pick the engineers' minds about stuff and, ask them, hey, why'd you guys do it like this? Or, hey, why'd you guys do it like that? That's where Echo's at least making themselves pretty accessible.
Yeah, that's nice if you have that opportunity to be able to do that. They give you some good opportunities to be able to do something like that.
Rec
They
fuel.
use
That's right.
rec
He says other
fuel.
companies use rec fuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder why. Well, what do they do that for? Why don't they use what everybody else usually uses? So I know they want it to run possibly the best that it can. So, do you ever use rec fuel?
No, I just been using this year. I've just been experimenting. I've just been putting straight premium fuel in my gas and in my handhelds. I feel like everything's been running way better. Like especially Greg, I got that from was it Tom over at Wheels and Blades. If you do run premium in one thing, run it in your small hand tools like your backpack blower, your weed whip. I feel like those all drink better. I'm getting better gas mileage on that, and it's just running way better, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think I've noticed that as well because I was
yeah,
running plus, and after Tom said that, I said, okay, well, I'll do the premium. I still haven't gone the full route with the mowers, and I just going, man, that's a lot of money
it
to be
doesn't matter.
spending
It's
on
like
gas.
$4.20 a gallon. That
Yeah.
I've been griping about that. Things I guess in Michigan here, our fuel prices haven't really gone down, have they?
No, we haven't gone down at all. At least, fortunately, we're not California, where Newscomb just added an extra 60 cent. Was
You're
it 50 or
fired.
60 cents for a tax in California for
That's
fuel?
crazy.
And
Oh
their
man,
fuel is already. I was there a few years ago, and it was five something a gallon, $6 a gallon when I had to pull up when I had a rental car. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why people want to live out there. That's just crazy how much they have to spend for everything.
I'm just waiting for the fuel prices to go down here where I can fill up premium for like $3.50 and say, oh, like that's cheap. I think unleaded is what was it? No, I think unleaded was like $3.20, wasn't it? It wasn't that there wasn't that much of a price difference from unleaded to premium. It's like a whole dollar, like a whole
Yeah, I
buck.
think it's
But
about $1 difference. So
yeah, Aaron, fuel is staying right around $3.30 a gallon. Yeah, it
for
hasn't
your rate.
budged because I have this app and I've tracked every single fuel up that I have fueled up this year. Okay, this is just for the mower, and so I call it the off-road fuel because you guys can actually write off your off-road fuel and get money back. I got money back. So I've filled up 37 times this year. I've spent almost $2,100, and it's 502 gallons. And the average price I've spent is $4.14, and the average fuel up is 56 cents. So yeah, it hasn't changed, and that was back in March. I started filling up.
How much have you spent? $2,100 in gas?
Almost
fuel?
$2,100. That's because I've been putting the premium in there. So
Yeah.
$2,087, 37 fuel ups, 502 gallons. The average price $4.14. I'm really keeping track of this because I just want to make sure that I get my maximum write off. If you guys don't know it, there's an off road fuel thing that you can write off and get money back. Because we pay an off road because we pay a fuel tax, and if we are operating and running a business, we get that money back. So not a lot of guys know about it.
I didn't know about it.
I thought I told you about that. I learned about this like years ago. It was actually from Fullerton years ago. He did a thing on YouTube about it probably 6-7 years ago. I got $420 back, guys, from literally just I keep track of your fuel. You talk to your CPA. There's a form that you can fill out here. Let me look this up. It's like off
I can
off
do that.
road fuel
I would have appreciated an extra $400 this year.
tax form. Here we go. It's called the tax refunds on fuels used off road. Here we go. It's a fuel tax credit. It's a form 4136. I thought guys really knew about this, so I didn't say anything. Well, yeah. So form 4136 is it's pretty easy to calculate. They just do it by the by how much fuel costs per gallon. And yeah, I got $420 back. Yeah.
How are you separating out that versus your truck? When you go in, you fill up your truck separate than your mower, or you're just counting everything?
I was just doing the mileage for the truck, and then for the mower, just off-road fuel. But I am keeping track of my truck fuel purchases for my truck. Get a Shell card for Shell gas station, save 10 cents off every gallon. It's on a credit card. Yeah, it's like Speedy Rewards.
Yeah, I got Speedy Rewards. It's 11 cents, Aaron. So
One
uh,
one
much
whopping
bigger.
penny. You know what
Actually,
I
you know
thought
how
about
many,
getting before we'll wrap this up here in a minute. I thought about getting Greg. I wanted to get some sort of like 100-gallon fuel tank I could like put on the like this somewhere like at home here, like get like 100 or 200-gallon fuel tank, fill it up with fuel in the beginning of the year, and then fill up at the house, and then only have to fill up a handful of times a year. Problem is they're not cheap. I
no, and I don't know
I
where
looked
you're
them
going to
up.
put it. I don't
Oh,
know if you'd be allowed to do it by your house. So, and then you'd have to worry about somebody trying to come and steal it. So, I don't know. Well, farmers do it all the time.
oh yeah.
So,
Aaron might know about that because he's kind of in the farm and sticks life. I was looking at some sort of gas because I see these guys. They do have gas tanks on the like in the beds of their trucks. Greg. Like, have you ever seen those? Like they have a full and they have a pump there too, but that's for I think specific jobs. But like even getting like a 300-gallon tank like behind my house there or somewhere, and then filling up like that. I hate going to the gas station. It doesn't matter what time you go. You can go way in the morning before everyone gets there, or at night. Gas stations, Greg, are comedy, aren't they?
I told, excuse me, I told you that one time I pulled up and I waited probably 10 minutes for the guy to move, and now I'm stuck in my trailer. I can't back up. I can't go around. And actually, that happened to me again the other day. I was pulling up into a spot, and some guy was trying to drive through, and I'm going, no, I'm sitting here. I'm not moving.
Yeah, don't move.
Yeah. And then I had a lady the other day. I was yesterday, as a matter of fact. I'm leaving a job, and there's this lady walking her, out with the baby stroller. So I start to go around her. In the meantime, the neighbor starts pulling out of her driveway, and
Oh boy.
she doesn't even stop. She just pulls right out, and I'm coming along, and I just stopped right in front of her, and she's
I
looking
would.
at me like she thought I was going to move, and I said, I'm not moving. You're the one that's got to move, lady. And
Yeah.
when I went by, and finally, because the lady was walking her stroller, and she kind of stops next to me, I said, "No, you can keep going. This lady's really screwed up here. She's messed up, and I'm not moving. So you go ahead and keep walking, and then we'll figure this out." And then I went by the lady, and I said, maybe you should stop before you come out of your driveway rather than just pull right out. So,
Oh,
and
she
was
probably
mad.
felt convicted. Oh yeah, I'd be mad too. People don't pay attention on the roads, and they hit people. Aaron, fuel tanks and trucks is for diesel specifically because it's a little less combustible. Yeah, because diesel burns under basically high pressure. Pretty sure you can't do it with regular fuel. Yeah, it makes sense if you're going to shoot something. I don't want to have to blow up. It's funny though, Greg. I gotta be wary of kind of pivot back to gas stations. Gotta be worried where you park. This is like 2 years ago. I parked regularly. Had some lady back up into my trailer fender. Didn't really damage it. Then drove off. I'm like, okay, all right, thanks. So I think I'd be
Had a lady
careful.
back into my trailer fender the other day, and she's backing out of her driveway and backed right into my trailer fender. And I'm looking at her going, "You didn't notice that big black
Really?
trailer behind you, lady?" And I don't even know if she had those backup camera too. Seems like she's got a newer vehicle, so I thought she would have had a backup camera. Backed right into it. So,
Well, where'd you park? Did you park like square behind her driveway? So she would have
well,
to
I
make
was
a.
behind her driveway, but she had room. She
Yeah.
could have backed out. She,
Yep, you're right. Yeah, because these people, they could just like if they angled it, they could easily back up. But no, they go too far back, and then they don't pay attention.
Yeah. I had one guy, this is a few years ago, that he backed right into my door and started to drive off. And I was standing right there when it happened. And he was just getting ready to start driving off. And I yelled at him to
It's
stop.
at your door.
Yeah, he just ran right into it. And he's a younger kid, and the dad's sitting next to him, and there's no way that they didn't feel it. There's just no possible way
yeah.
they didn't feel it. And I yelled at him to stop, and then the dad looks at his kid and acts like it was his fault. You were trying to get away. And the funny part is there were a couple of neighbors that were standing outside when it happened, and they kind of came over looking to see what was going on because they were wondering what I was yelling about. So I made the guy pay me like $350. So a buddy of mine came over and took a look at it, and he said, "How much would it cost to fix it?" And he says, about 300. And I said, just because the guy tried to drive away, I'm charging him $350.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, write me a check, $500.
Yeah. So I called the
Hopefully that
guy up
never
and
happens.
said, "Hey, it's $350," and guy wrote me a check. So
When was this?
this was it would have been 4 years ago because I had just gotten my mower. I was mowing that guy's. I had just gotten
Oh,
my
wow.
my Bobcat because I was mowing that lawn I was mowing was when I first got my Bobcat. So, but yeah, so it was guy just backed right into it. I had another guy run into the back of my car one time. I'm stopped at a stoplight and he ran into the back of my car, and
Oh
so
boy.
we pull over to the side of the road, and he's going, "Oh, sorry, it was my fault." And I said, "Yeah, I was stopped." And then he says, "Well, how much do you want for it?" And I said, "Well, because not that I bought a used Lexus," and the guy says, "Well, here, let me give you $100." I said, "Dude, this is a Lexus. You think I'm going to be able to find a taillight for $100?" And the guy says, "Well, all I've got on me is 200." And I said, "No, it's still not enough." And then the guy hands me $300. I thought you only had 200. So
That's
he
how
was
it works
lying. He
with
was trying
people.
to get with it, and then he took off real fast. So, but yeah, that was kind of annoying when he did that. So,
That you got good car stories about people that have hit you. Wow.
well, Leanna was up at school, and she just happened to get in the van because we had to switch vehicles one time because her car was having some issues. So I just said her take the van, and she got in the van, and they had a snowstorm going on, and the plow truck. She just got in the van, and plow truck ran into her, and so otherwise we would have never known about it. She just happened to get in the van, and so I called the guy. I had to call the guy and said. Well, he says, "Yeah, I'll go ahead and pay for it. Just go get a couple estimates on it." And it wasn't that bad a damage, but I took it to a couple of shops, and they wanted like $750,
That's
$900.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I called the guy, and I said, "Yeah, I'm getting $750 quotes." And he says, "Wow, yeah, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and file a claim then. I don't feel like messing around with that." And I looked at it and I said, "Dude, send me $350. I'll fix it myself." So, and it was
That's the way to do it.
they cracked the tail light,
Yeah.
and then what else did they? Oh, and then they gouged a little bit of the bottom paint. So I found two tail lights, the left and the right, driver's side and passenger side tail lights. I found that on eBay, paid $30 for them, and
There you go.
replaced the left one. And I'm looking at it going, huh. So I took the right one and I threw that back on eBay and sold that for $30. And and then so it was a wash on the taillights, and then I went out and bought a can of spray paint and went pss, 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 and fixed the damage on the paint job. So
Oh wow. Well, let's end. I'll end this on this story quickly. Talk about plow trucks. This is the second year I was plowing snow with my buddies, Greg. So this is probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I had the backpack blower on. I had I think a Red Max 7500 EBZ on, and I was blowing a sidewalk off. It was on Grand Rivers in downtown Farmington, and a city truck was coming by. And do you think the city truck lifted up the plow when it came by me when I was blowing off the sidewalk? No. That snow hit me, and I literally jumped in the air, then landed there on my back. It was apparently a pretty good comedy show. Didn't get hurt, but yeah, I could have probably sued the city for some money, but I didn't get hurt, so couldn't really do that. But Greg, I think it's time that I tuck myself in, and we're going to wrap up this live stream. You have any last words of wisdom? All right, well, that's it. He muted himself. See you guys.